Hello, Mr. Snyder here with the 9th tutorial for Audacity. What we've got so far is both voice tracks in order on our timeline, male voice, female voice, and we've also got the commercial now timed out so that the last clip, the tagline, is ending. If I take my selection tool and click there, it's coming in under 30 seconds. Okay, let me just blow this up. Yeah, there's the last word right there. It's coming in under 30 seconds. The other thing you want to keep note of is we do have this male tagline, which was sort of an optional version of the tagline. It's got to be dealt with. So you don't want to leave it there because then it might become part of your radio commercial. So what you're going to do now is just select it and delete it. Now, what's important here for you to realize is that we have been editing all of these clips, not necessarily start first clip, second clip, third clip, fourth clip. We sort of started that way, but we can move things around as we need to. This is called non-linear editing, both for audio or for video. You don't have to do all of your editing in the exact order that you'll hear the different clips. You can always go back and move things around. Non-linear editing. Linear would mean I have to start with clip 1, 2, 3, 4 and do it just in the order that I hear it, and I can't make any adjustments in the middle. This on a computer is called non-linear. The other thing you take note of is if I delete a clip, I'm going to not destroy that clip on my computer. It's called non-destructive. All I'm doing is getting rid of the instructions for this clip in this program. Non-destructive editing. Now, let me show you another program briefly. Here's Audition, which is a little bit higher end program. This is really non-linear. So let me take a voice clip up here. Let me just expand those a bit and watch what I can do with these particular voice clips. I can actually go to the end of a clip and not only just trim them and cut them off as I can in Audacity, but one step further, look at that little red marker. I can actually drag it and I can change the outer endpoint. If I by mistake and cut off too much, I can make that, I can make that adjustment. Okay, that's truly non-destructive because the clip is not being destroyed at all on my timeline. That's one feature I wish Audacity had. The other feature I wish Audacity had is the names of the files up in the timeline in the clips. That's very helpful too. Audacity doesn't have that. So, but again, it's a free program. It's doing the job we need it to do. But I did want to show you this, that in fact, most programs, you'll be able to retrim clips on the timeline without having to delete it and then bring it in again. Non-destructive editing. And then again, cutting things or editing things out of order is non-linear editing. Hey, I thought just for fun, I'd show you something here. This is how we used to do it old school when I first started at university way back. Well, way back, let's just say that. Take a look at this. This is how we had to record sound. That's called a reel-to-reel tape recorder. And it's a giant reel here with audio tape, magnetic audio tape on it. This had the supply reel, meaning the tape started here and then it fed through this machine and it went, the magnetic tape went past the magnetic heads here where the sound was recorded, and then it would go up to this take-up reel. Okay, so very cumbersome. Now you've got, an audio recorder in the palm of your hand on your phone. But that's how we used to have to do it. I think it's kind of important for you to know, like, the advantages you have these days is unbelievable. So how would we edit the audio tape back then? It was called destructive editing, literally destructive. You'd take the magnetic tape, you'd lay it across this splicing bar here, and you'd literally take this razor blade and cut it on an angle. And then guess how you would fix the edit? You'd actually use tape and tape it together. I'm not kidding you. So there's the splicing bar, a little closer look. You'd place the audio tape across there. You'd cut it on an angle. And then there it is. You can see the audio tape. I'm not making this up. You'd actually physically cut the tape, take out the stuff you didn't want. And then, hey, look at this. You'd actually put like Scotch tape where the edit was. That's old school for sure. And we are so fortunate we're not living in the old school years anymore. So I thought it'd be kind of cool for you to see how we used to have to do it. And really what I wanted you to take note of is look at how far technology has come over the years. Okay, so now we're going to add the sound effects in. What sound effects we're going to add first, and where does the sound effect get added to in our timeline? Let's go to our script. Okay, sound effects here in the first column, and we go down the script. Oh, there's the first sound effect there. It's the sound of the knife being drawn out of its sheathing. It's sort of this steely sort of sound. That's the first sound effect we want. And when does that happen? On the line Uber Eats, I've got this. So this tells us not only what sound effect, but when it happens. So if you look after that, we've got a second knife sound effect right after it when the person's screaming in pain. So we're looking for our knife sound effects first. Now, how do we get them in? Again, we can go File. Oh, I'm in Pages. Make sure you click on your application. I'm in Audacity, File, Import, Audio, or Shift, Command, or Control I. We'll import, and then where are these sound effects? They're in the Radio Commercial Assets folder under the third folder, Sound Effects. Double click it, looking for knife. There it is there. So we're going to select it. We're just going to do one sound effect at a time. Select the knife sound effect and select Open. And it's importing it into the project. And the reason we do one at a time is because otherwise you're getting your tracks all stacked up. You get too much going on in your timeline, especially when you're starting out, it makes it difficult. So I'm going to just go for reference points just so I can explain to you what that first sound is. This is Audition, the audio editing program we would use in class. We don't have it accessible right now, but it's very similar. It's a little more sophisticated. Nice thing is it's got the actual clip names up here, which is beautiful. And hey, look at this. The other thing it can do, watch if I drag on the edge of this clip, I can actually change it. I don't have to delete it, or I can bring it back. That's true non-destructive editing. I can even do it with the start of a clip. Okay, so I can change it. If I don't like what I did, I can just bring it back. You can't do that in Audacity, which is unfortunate. I wish you could. I also wish you had the names. Anyway, here's the knife sound effect in the original. Let's just listen to it. Hear that first sound? It's a knife being drawn. Okay, then the second knife sound effect, again, two different clips. Okay, and we may or may not need to hear that sound at the end, so I'm going to just trim it off so it doesn't confuse you. There we go, chopping. So knife being drawn, chopping. That's what we're looking for now when we go to Audacity. Okay, so here's our knife sounds right here. There's the name of the track. It picks up the file name. And what I want to do is go to my selection tool, and I want to play this clip. Do I need music? No. Let's just trim. I'm assuming that's all music. Delete it. I'm looking for that very sort of subtle sound of the knife being drawn. I'm going to drag this down. I'm going to zoom in. I think it's somewhere near the beginning. It might be even right in here. That's not it. I don't really like. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to use that one. Knife being drawn. So I don't need any of this stuff beforehand because I listened to it. I didn't like any of it, and it's not the chopping sound. So I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to delete it. Okay. Now let me go to my selection time shift tool, drag to the right just so you can see what we're doing. And I'm going to isolate just that one sound. Click. How do I split this clip? Again, it's Command I. You get the heavy black line. This clip is now split into two sections. Go to your Shift, time shift tool, and just move it over. Okay, so I've isolated that sound I want to use. Now we got to find that chopping sound. Let's go to our selection tool and let's go down. No. Oh, there it is, right there. So I'm going to isolate this range of sound here. So I'm going to select it. Okay, Command I to split this clip. And I'm going to go to my selection tool, and I'm going to grab all of that, and I'm going to delete it. Now, the easier way to do it, that's why I always like to move things, is go to your time shift tool, put a little bit of a gap between the two parts that you're going to split, and then delete the one. Go to your selection tool. See that? That's that extra little sound I got rid of on Audition. I don't want that. Okay, so again, split it, Command I. I'm isolating the sound I need. I'm going to move over this audio down here that I don't need. These are just the two knife sounds I want. The rest of it I don't need. I'm going to zoom out like so, and I'm going to use my selection tool. I've got a nice gap between the sounds I don't want and the sounds I do want, and delete them. Zoom back in, and there's my two knife sounds isolated. Okay, again, I'm soloed on this one track. Okay, you can see I've got some excess audio here with nothing there. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete the end of that, and I'm going to delete the end of that, like so. So now I've got it really nicely sort of trimmed up. Okay, if you mess up the trimming, do Command Z or Control Z to undo, or if you really mess it up, just relay the clip in. Now, here's the thing. Right now I've got two different sounds on one track, although they're both knife sounds. I want to put each of them on their own track simply because it may help me once I get to adjusting the volume levels. I won't be adjusting both of them together. I want to be able to independently adjust the volume levels. So what I'm going to do is put the second knife sounds on their own track. It'll just make it easier. How do I do that? Go up to Tracks in the menus, Add New. I want a stereo track because there's sound on both sides, left and right. It's a stereo track. Add a new one. There you go. I'm going to just reduce the size of this. I'm going to take the female track and really make it much smaller. Okay, because real estate on my application now is going to be really at a premium. I'm going to take that second knife sound and I'm just going to click and drag it down and put it below. And again, right now I'm going to make that smaller. So what do I have if I hold Shift and now solo and hold Shift again and click solo? Sorry, I'm holding Control. Shift, I've now soloed both. So I can solo one track, hold Shift, click on solo. Now I'm soloing two. Okay, so let's go to my selection tool. That's the part of the knife sounds that I want. Now, where do we need to hear these again? Let's just refresh our memory. Here we go, the script. Oh, Uber Eats, I've got this, is where we hear the first sound. So now we have to hold Shift and let's solo the male track as well. The other way I could do this is I could hold Shift and unsolo everything, and I could just simply mute the female track like so, and I could okay, so now I need to find that line of script in the male voice. So I think this is it here.
Uber Eats? I've got this.
Yeah, that's it. That's where I want to hear, not in on that line, but
Uber Eats? I've got this. Hiya!
Yeah, knife sound being drawn at the end of the line. That's what makes most sense. So let me just drag this down a bit. And I'm going to just drag this over a bit. And let's hear when I'm going to mute for now. Sorry, not that one. I'm going to mute this track. So all I want to hear is the male voice with the first knife sound. So you do that through your combination of mute and solos. Solo allows you to hear just that track. And if you do, again, Shift and solo, like so, you're hearing two tracks. Okay. See how this sound effects works out with the voice. And right now, all I'm looking for is timing, where it's placed.
I've got this. Hiya!
Ooh, these lines are a little tight. So let me listen again.
I've got this. Hiya!
I think this is coming in a little too late. Well, maybe not. Let me see. Something's not working quite right.
Got this. Hiya!
Yeah, I've got this. Draw the knife and then chop. So I think that's probably
got
good.
this. Hiya!
Okay, forget about the volume for now. I like that placement more or less. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold shift, click solo on the bottom. Now I'm listening to male and the two knife sounds. And let's hear how it's going to play out now.
Got this? Hiya! Ah!
Okay, I hear the scream before I hear the cutting. Did you hear that? Listen. Let me just mute actually the the first knife sound, and really what I want is the relationship and timing between the chopping and the scream, because the scream is motivated by the chopping. Chopping has to happen first because the scream is in reaction to cutting fingers. Okay, so let's make sure we hear the chopping before the scream. Yeah, we do. We hear chopping, then scream. So I'm going to say I like that. Let's hear how all of them together work now. Okay, I'm going to hold. I keep holding command. Okay, here we go.
I've got this. Hiya! Ah!
Good. This one here could be moved one way or another a little bit. And all you got to do really is use your time shift tool and move things around a bit until you think it sounds right. But by keeping both these knife sounds on two different tracks, it's going to give me more flexibility in my volume controls. Rather than adjusting an entire track at once, I can now just do this clip and then this clip.
I've got this. Hiya! Ah!
I think this is a little bit late. I'm going to bring it a bit earlier.
I've got this. Hiya!
That works better. Okay, so I'm going to be happy right now with these two clips where they are for the knife. Now let's focus in on the volume level. How well do we hear these sound effects under the voice? And the key is that these sound effects can't be so loud that it's unnatural and it sort of overrides the voice, but they have to be loud enough to be heard. And that's audio mixing. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to just mute the second one, take the solo off. I'm just going to focus on the first sound effect and see how it combines with the voice as far as volume.
I've got this. Hiya!
I think it's too low. So here's what I'm going to do. First of all, like before, let's just go to Effects, Amplify. Let's make it max out at -3. Okay, decibels. Oh, it grew. See that? It already went louder.
I've got this. Hiya! Ah! I've got this. Hiya!
I think it's a little loud now. So what can I do to adjust it? Here's what I'm going to do. This is on its own track. I'm going to go over here to the track volume. You can see minus means you're bringing the level down. Plus means you're raising it up. I'm going to bring this audio gain for this clip on this track down minus, let's say 4 dB. Okay, let's see what happens now.
I've got this. Hiya!
Too low. I'm going to bring it, instead of minus 4 dB, I'm going to make this track minus 2 dB.
I've got this. Hiya!
I think that's pretty good. So you see how, because this is on its own track, I can adjust this audio level for this particular clip separately from the second part. So I like that sound. I mean, you're going to adjust it to taste. Again, you want this clip to complement the voice, not compete with the voice. And that's a phrase we often use.
I've got this. Hiya! Ah!
I don't think my timing's quite right, but I would finesse that more. That's really what editing's about, is getting the timing of everything perfect and the audio levels perfect. Okay, so I'm going to hold shift, unsolo this one, and I'm going to focus now on the second chopping sound. Hold shift, solo it. Again, male voice and just the chopping sound now. Again, I need to hear the chopping before I hear the scream.
Got this. Hiya! Ah!
Okay, I think I can hear chopping just a little earlier. There you go. I moved it so it happens a little bit before the scream. Let's see how it sounds.
This. Hiya! Ah!
I like that. That's where I want this to be placed. Now, how's the level of it? Let's listen to it.
This. Hiya! Ah!
I think it's a little loud. First of all, let's select the clip. Let's go to Effects. Let's go to Amplify. Let's max it out at -3 decibels. Okay, watch what happens to the waveform. Not much, very small adjustment. So what we'll do then is go to the track level over here for this particular sound.
Hiya! Ah!
Let's bring it down a bit. Let's reduce this by, say, 2 decibels.
Hiya! Ah!
I think that's good too. So now I'm happy. Let me hold shift, solo. I'm going to listen to this section now of the male voice where the chopping, the knife work starts and then the chopping. So let's listen to it all. Again, go well before the edit. Don't listen from right at the edit point. Well before the edit, and then see if it sounds natural. It's not how it looks. Again, it's how it sounds.
Uber Eats? I've got this. Hiya! Ah!
Okay, in my opinion, this knife first sound effect is happening a little too early. So I'm just going to shift it a little bit to the right. Let's listen again.
Uber Eats? I've got this. Hiya! Ah!
I like that timing better. So I'm going to say, you know what? That's good. So that's my knife sound effects now. Notice that the first one says knife sound effects. Let's name that as knife 1. Okay, how did I do that? Drop down box, name this track. Box pops up and give it a name that describes what is on that track. Okay, knife 1. This one here, click, name is really important. You keep things organized. I'm going to call this knife 2. Okay, nothing fancy, but it tells me what's on these 2 tracks. Good. So now what's the next sound effect we're going to add? Let's see. Again, it's always referring to the script. Okay, so we've got this part here done. Okay, the female voice says, "You're bleeding," after he chops his fingers. And then after that, the male voice now will say, "Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon," which is a goofy line. It's meant to be kind of a goofy commercial. It's not meant to be real. That's the beautiful thing about radio, is it doesn't have to be real. It's kind of a theater of the mind. You're creating a reality in the listener's mind. That's what makes it most effective. So, get me a Band-Aid, check the bacon. What am I going to hear? Bacon sizzling. Okay, so let's go down. Shift Command I. Oops, I'm in Pages again. I do that a lot. Shift Command I, and we're frying bacon right there. So I double clicked in that case. Again, now I'm going to bring the knife, the height of the knife tracks higher because I've kind of got them done. And then what I'm going to do now is deal with the bacon. I don't think it needs to be that tall. Let's see the bottom of the track. Let's bring it up a bit. Okay. Again, it's in comparison to when the male voice is speaking. That's the timing of when we're going to hear the bacon. So let's find the location first of get the Band-Aids and check the bacon. Goofy line.
Get me a Band-Aid and check. Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
There we go. So it's going to happen. We're going to hear bacon sizzling somewhere in here. I would suggest
get me a Band-Aid.
Maybe in the word Band-Aid we bring the frying sound of bacon in.
Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Okay, so we're going to say somewhere in here. Somewhere down here. Okay, but first now we've got the location. Let's go pick the portion of the frying bacon that we want. Again, you can see this clip is way longer than the whole commercial. So I'm going to solo just the frying bacon. Click solo. I'm only hearing this track. Let's find a nice frying bacon sound. It's kind of silly, really. I mean, frying bacon sounds like frying bacon. I kind of liked it over here. Hear those little pops? I'm going to say I'm going to use this somewhere in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to make my final decision yet, but I'm just going to clean off the clip a bit, get rid of some of the excess stuff, hit delete, and I know that I only need a little piece, so I'm going to click and drag over, select the rest of it and delete, and use my time shift tool. There's the bacon sound effect. Again, where is it going? Right in here. Let me hold shift and solo.
Get me a Band-Aid.
So look at how short of a time we need bacon sound up. So I've got plenty here to work with. So I'm going to move my clip into place. So looking vertically, I want my bacon to start somewhere in here. Okay, so I'm going to decide to start the bacon right here. So, and then I know that it's got to be done well before, but I'm going to show you how to deal with that. So let's listen to it.
Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon. I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Oh, I want to keep that bacon sound right over here too. And then maybe I want to fade it out. Have it gradually fade out so that it's more subtle than just cutting out. Let's listen again.
Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon. I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Okay, now I've actually trimmed this pretty tight, so don't trim it quite as tight as I did. Shift Command Z. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to not trim it quite so tight. I'm going to change my mind on my trim point. I'm going to extend the amount of bacon I have to deal with. So I've just gone undo several times, and now I've got a longer piece of that selection. I undid where my split was before, and I've just extended this. So let's go again, hold Shift, solo the male.
Get me a Band-Aid and
check the bacon. I think it's coming in a bit early, so I'm just going to move it to the right a bit.
Band-Aid and check the bacon. I'm thinking the bacon's done.
And then at that point, I'll want to fade it out. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So I won't be using all of this sound, but I've got extra audio here to work with. So let's first of all get the overall clip level correct. Let's select the clip. Let's go to Effects. Let's go to Amplify. Let's go to -3. It's at 0.95 right now. Let's see, -3. Well, it's going to actually reduce the level of the frying bacon. Okay, you saw it got smaller. And
check the bacon. I'm thinking the bacon's.
I think it's a little loud right now, so I'm going to bring it down just again a couple dB. Seems to be doing it for me.
Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon. I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Okay, and at this point here is where I want this bacon sound to fade out. How do I do that? How do I not just cut out? So I could cut it here, for example, but it sounds kind of abrupt. So if I was to just cut it here and hit delete, I'm going to have to undo that. Listen to it.
Band-Aid and check the bacon. I'm thinking the bacon's done.
See how it sounds abrupt? Command Z, bring that back. What I want to do is at this point, I want to fade the bacon down and out rather than just abruptly cutting out. So how do I do that? How do I adjust a portion of an audio clip so that I can have a volume level at one point of it and a different volume level at the other? We're going to use this new tool called the envelope tool. Click on it. Then up here on this blue bar, you're going to add a marker point. I want my fade to start, let's say, right here. So my first one I call the anchor point. And really what these are called keyframes. Keyframes are points in time along the timeline at which you can make adjustments. So I've added one keyframe right now at this point. But watch what happens. I'm going to click now and drag the audio down. Look what it's doing to the whole clip. It's bringing the audio down to the whole clip. So if I play that,
Band-Aid and check the bacon.
I can't hear it. That's not what I want to do. So undo it. Envelope tool. There's my point. What I need to do is add a second keyframe, or an adjustment keyframe as I call it. So I want the fade to happen after this point. I want everything before this point to stay where it is. So I'm going to add a second keyframe after it. And you see, look what we've got going here. It's fading down to nothing. Okay, let me zoom in here for you. Okay, so this second keyframe I've added, I call the adjustment keyframe. This anchors it, the first one, everything before it, and nothing changes there but the adjustment keyframe. Now you see if you pull it too tight, that's a very fast fade. Okay, I want it to be more gradual, I think, so it sounds a little more natural. Hey, maybe it's fading too late. So look, I can take this first the anchoring keyframe. I can make it anchor a little bit earlier in the line, and then I can, smooth out my fade a little bit. So by the time the tagline of the female starts here, this bacon sound is gone. So the space between here and the bottom, that's time. That's how fast this fade's going to happen. If it's too fast, you can just, ease it over and then adjust your second one, and you can drag it out longer like so. That's a slower fade now. It's taking longer to fade down to nothing. Let's take a listen. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go to my selection tool.
And check the bacon.
Hear it, hear it, hear it.
I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Okay, and then you can hear it sort of gradually fade out. Okay, let's turn on the female voice now, Shift Solo. Let's listen now to everything here, the male voice, the bacon, and the female voice. Okay, let's go before the edit.
Oh, Lord! Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Fire!
I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Uber Eats.
I think it fades too early. So what I'm going to do is go back to my envelope tool, and I'm going to drag the first keyframe a bit to the right. I still want it to end where it ended, so I'm not going to change my adjustment keyframe. All I've done is say don't fade so early. Start your fade more in here. Now let's take a listen.
Oh, Lord! Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Fire!
I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Uber Eats.
I like that. Nice sort of blend between it fading and the beginning of the tagline. It should be done pretty much by the time the tagline is started. Now in my case, I have it overlapping a bit, and that's just perfect. The little bit of overlap gives it a more natural sound. Listen to this.
Oh, Lord! Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Fire!
I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Uber Eats. Fast food without the accident.
Good. Excellent. So that's now the knife sounds I've added. The frying bacon's been added. I've shown you how to do a fade. Oh, what happens if you add an adjustment point? You've clicked over here by mistake, and then you've done something. Now in this case, I'm fading the sound up. Look at that. Okay. And oh, I made a mistake.
Oh, Lord!
Look,
Get me a
up.
Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Fire!
I'm thinking the bacon's done.
And you say, oh, I've got a mistake here. I've got this extra keyframe here I want to get rid of. You just click on it and drag it right off the clip, and look, it's gone. Okay, that's tricky. So you click on to add it and you adjust it. Oh, made a mistake. Click on that keyframe that's the mistake and drag it right off the clip. Good.
Oh, Lord! Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Fire!
You could say, let's add a little quick fade up of the bacon sound. So I'm going to add again. You always need to have two keyframes. So I'm going to zoom in here. So it's not going to just cut in. It's going to fade very quickly in. I'm going to put a very fast fade at the start. So it's a little more subtle. Let's listen to this.
Oh, Lord! Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Okay, it's a little hard to hear the fade, but it's not maybe necessary, but I'm just showing you what you can do. Let's zoom out so you can see the whole clip. So I'm fading up very fast, and then I'm fading out slower. Again, that time there is much longer than this short time.
Oh, Lord! Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Fire!
I'm thinking the bacon's done.
Uber Eats. Fast food.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to stop there now. We have more sound effects to add. You're going to go to the script after you've done the knife sounds and the bacon. Why did I do them in this order? Well, simply because that's the order they appear in the script. So I've done this, and then you're going to have an explosion sound, then you're going to have a fire alarm sound, and then you're going to have a putting out the fire extinguisher sound. So you've got three more to do as well. Now, it's got to happen in this order, right? Because you got to have an explosion before you have a fire alarm, and then you got to have a fire alarm before you actually try to put the fire out. So it's got to be in that order. And when does it happen? It happens here on these particular lines where the fire is being yelled. So I'm going to let you figure that out and come up with your best arrangement, both in timing, and you're going to have each of those clips on their own tracks. Okay, so all three of those are going to be on their own tracks, just like these three sound effects are. So you're going to have three more tracks under here, and you're going to have three more sound effects. They're going to start later than this one, somewhere in, I don't know, we're in here somewhere. Okay, so I want you to do that now. I want you to do these sound effects first, get them positioned correctly, get the audio levels adjusted correctly, and then move on to the last three. Good luck!